Hola, ¿qué tal, amigos? Sentence starters number 179. Adverbial conjunctions followed by verb number 3, present tense, or verb number 8, present subjunctive. All right, now we have 6 in the cluster red. We have cuando, when, hasta que, until, en cuanto, as soon as, después de que, after, tan pronto como, as soon as, and una vez que, once. All right. Now, these can be followed by the present tense if you're talking about something that always happens, or they can be followed by the present subjunctive, verb number 8, if you're talking about something that has not happened yet. For example, when I get home every day, I sit down and rest. Cuando llego, present tense, it happens every day. Cuando llego a la casa. But if I want to say, when I get home later today, I'm going to sit down and rest, it would be cuando llegue. Cargars are cuando llegue a la casa. Okay? I stay at work until I'm finished. Me quedo en el trabajo hasta que termino. That's present tense. Hasta que termino, until I finished. If I want to say I'm going to stay at work until I finish, I have to go with the verb number 8, present subjunctive, because I haven't finished yet. Me voy a quedar en el trabajo hasta que termine. All right, so let's look at the red. Cuando is when. Hasta que is until. En cuanto, as soon as, después de que, after, tan pronto como, as soon as, and una vez que is once. Key points. For the present subjunctive, verb number 8, the easiest way to select the correct verb conjugation is to take the usted command and use it as your base for the present subjunctive. The only exceptions are the nosotros forms of E to IE and O to UE stem changing verbs, as they do not stem change. And point 2, all present subjunctive, verb number 8, conjugations are based on the usted command. All right, let's take a look at our infinitives. Nacer, to be born. Irse, tener, haber tiempo. Ver, saberlo. Casarse, despertarse. Ir, llegar, terminar, empezar, poder, comprar, graduarse, and llover. All right, let's go over and see what type of verbs they are. Nacer is a ZC, so you might get a nasca. Irse, in the subjunctive, you're going to get vaya. Tener, you're going to get tenga. Haber, haya. Ver, vea. Saber is sepa. Casarse is regular. Despertarse is stem change, E to IE. Ir would be vaya. Llegar is a cargarzar, llegue. Terminar and empezar. Terminar is regular. Empezar is an IE stem change, and it's a cargarzar, so that Z will change to a C. Poder is an O to UE. Comprar, regular. Graduarse is accented U. Accented U, except for the nosotros. And llover is an O to UE. Now, let's look at our examples of action that happens all the time. When it rains, blah, blah, blah. Cuando llueve. When I get up every day in the morning. Cuando me despierto. These are all present tense. When there's time. Cuando hay tiempo. As soon as I arrive. En cuanto llego. As soon as I hear. Tan pronto como oigo. When it's raining, I like to read. Cuando está lloviendo. When I can, I go to the races. Cuando puedo. When it's cold, I wear a jacket. Cuando hace frío. After I leave, I go home. Después de que salgo. Once I finish, I rest. Una vez que termino. Until I go to bed. Hasta que me acuesto. Okay? Now, here are some examples of action that hasn't happened yet. When I get married, I'm not married yet. Cuando me case. When I graduate, I haven't graduated yet. Cuando me gradúe. When there's time, cuando haya tiempo. As soon as I arrive, en cuanto yo llegue. As soon as I find out, tan pronto como yo lo sepa. When it isn't raining, cuando no esté lloviendo. When the baby is born, cuando el bebé nazca. After I see him, I haven't seen him yet. Después de que lo vea. Once I finish, I haven't finished yet. Una vez que yo termine. And until I go to bed, I'm going to be here until I go to bed. I haven't gone to bed yet. Hasta que me acueste. Now, you know, the last 15 items or so on the Profesor Pablo Spanish Learning Systems Section 1 that we're finishing up with our next lesson The more sophisticated high-level Spanish is all piled on at the end. We start with a basic, like we said at the beginning, we start with an inverted pyramid. And now where we are on top is because of everything we've done before allows us to get to the point where we are. So on these present subjunctives and past subjunctives, find a couple of sentence starters that you like and just use them and use them and use them and use them and get confident with them, and then pick up another one and start using it and using it and using it and get confident with it. You're not going to hear the past subjunctive. Most of the time it's present tense, past tense, and era plus infinitive. We've made that point clear. But to be, again, a highly sophisticated speaker of Spanish, you have to be able to use both subjunctives comfortably and correctly. And you certainly will be able to do that. When we get to the dialogues and topics in other sections in Spanish learning systems, we will be using subjunctives, and we will always point those out to you so you can see them in a practical application. All right, our adverbial conjunctions that could either go present tense, if you're talking about something that happens all the time, verb number 3, or they could go present subjunctive if you're talking about something that has not happened yet, verb number 8. Cuando, when, hasta que, until, en cuanto, as soon as, después de que, after, as soon as, tan pronto como, and una vez que, once. All right, that'll wrap up lesson number 179, sentence starters. Put a big check mark by it. We're moving on. Hasta luego, hasta pronto, hasta la próxima lección. This is Profesor Pablo signing off. Cambio fuera.